Kevin, I want to ask you a quick question about Facebook and Google, and you talked about, and this is both an editorial question and a question about plurality, but the relevance of them to any kind of discussion about media dominance has to take account of Facebook and Google. And most recently, as a part of a news provider, the Guardian Observer, of course, you're having to negotiate your relationship with these big companies. And recently, all of you, I'm sure, will know that Facebook and Apple have wanted to place news from a variety of preferred news organizations behind their walled garden, because Facebook don't like the fact that if you click onto, for instance, a Guardian article, it takes 1.6 seconds to get there, and if you accumulate all those 1.6 seconds amongst its billions of viewers, that's a lot of time wasted. So now there are preferred providers who will provide news articles within their kind of walled garden, and that's Facebook Articles, and Apple News are doing the same thing. It's a really difficult issue, isn't it, Kevin? Because if those consumers can get access to the New York Times, National Geographic, the Guardian Observer within Facebook, and bear in mind that it's a small sampling of what they do, they may well delete the native news app on the smartphone where all of that information from that provider is available. And of course, as Kevin said, you're not in control of how that information is given to viewers, and if the algorithm changes, then you're completely at the behest of Facebook and Google. I'm not saying that Facebook and Google haven't done a tremendous amount for journalism and for spreading our journalism, but it's a really difficult issue, and I just briefly would wonder what your thoughts are.
I certainly, that kind of narrowing of the channel, and I think that puts the weight in favour of the intermediary rather than the starting news provider. I would have reservations about that, and I think you can see it already. They're going for the big players for those type of relationships. So, and then is that sort of compounding an isolation for the smaller players, are probably in a smaller national market. So I just think, I think we will engage with Facebook and Google on certain initiatives, but you'd almost have to do it on a case-by-case basis, because I think, if the balance is tilted too much in the one direction, the brand is going to be severely diluted.